Describing both government as fearless and decisive, President Draupadi Murmu addresses joint seating of both houses. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman presents Economic Survey 2022-2023 in both Houses of Parliament. Filing of nominations for Nagaland and Meghalaya Assembly polls begins today. Broad plan to develop at least one model village in each assembly constituency, says Arunachal Pradesh Chief Minister Pema Khandu. And keeping up with governance at doorstep initiative, Sikkim Chief Minister joins public meeting in Zongru constituency. Welcome to the Northeast News Bulletin. This is Hongita Kakuti Pathak bringing to you the stories in detail. President Draupadi Murmu today asserted that India has a stable, fearless and decisive government which is working towards realizing the big dreams. She said surgical strike, firm crackdown on terrorism, befitting response to every misadventure from beyond the line of control and the line of actual control, abrogation of Article 370 and triple talaq are examples of a decisive government. Addressing the joint sitting of both Houses of Parliament at the Central Hall, the President said, "Today the nation has a government that respects the honest and works to solve the problems of the poor and empower them permanently." She said the biggest change is that today every Indian's confidence is at its peak and the world's outlook towards India has changed. On women's empowerment, Murmu said all welfare schemes launched by the government have a women-centric approach.
जो अतीत के गौरव से जुड़ा हो और जिसमें आधुनिकता का हर स्वर्णिम अध्याय हो। हमें ऐसा भारत बनाना है जो आत्मनिर्भर हो और जो अपने मानवीय दायित्वों का पूरा करने के लिए भी समर्थ हो। ऐसा भारत हो जिसमें गरीबी ना हो, जिसका मध्यम वर्ग भी वैभव से युक्त हो। ऐसा भारत हो जिस
Prime Minister Narendra Modi said the world is looking towards India's budget in the present global headwinds. He said the government's only motto is India first, citizen first. Ahead of the budget session of Parliament, Prime Minister Modi said India's budget is an attempt to meet the hopes and aspirations of the common citizens. He expressed confidence that Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman will try to meet those aspirations.
भारत के संविधान का गौरव है, भारत की संसदीय प्रणाली का गौरव है और विशेष रूप से आज नारी सम्मान का भी अवसर है और दूर सुदूर जंगलों में जीवन बसर करने वाले हमारे देश के महान आदिवासी परंपरा के सम्मान का भी अवसर है। भारत के बजट के तरफ
The Economic Survey 2022-23 has projected a baseline GDP growth of 6.5% in real terms in the next financial year. The survey was presented in both houses of the Parliament today by Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman ahead of the Union Budget to be presented tomorrow, stating that India is projected to remain the fastest growing major economy in the world. The survey said India has become the world's 5th largest economy. The nominal GDP of India will be about $3.5 trillion in March this year.
English and Hindi of the Economic Survey 2022-23 along with highlights and statistical appendix.
Chief Economic Advisor Dr. V. Anantha Nageswaran has said that Indian economy is expected to grow at 6.5% in 2023-24 and the range is projected between 6 to 6.8%. Addressing a press conference in New Delhi on the highlights of the Economic Survey 2022-23 which was presented in Parliament today, Dr. Nageswaran said the country's GDP growth is expected to remain robust in the financial year 2023-24. He said India's economy is poised to do better in the remainder of this decade.
For the next financial year, And the range we have projected for the outcomes is between 6 and 6.8%. Baseline is 6.5%, the range is 6 to 6.8. From the Indian standpoint, a moderate to somewhat significant global economic slowdown will be, on balance, a better outcome.
Filing of nominations for assembly elections in Nagaland began today with the issuance of notification. The process for nomination of candidature for the ensuing general election in Meghalaya also got underway today. In both the states, candidates will be allowed to submit their nomination papers till February 7th. The scrutiny will take place on February 8th, while the last date for withdrawal of candidature is February 10th. Both Nagaland and Meghalaya will go to polls on February 27th, and counting will take place on March 2nd. The number of eligible voters in Nagaland is 13,17,632, whereas in Meghalaya the number is 21,61,129. The Meghalaya Election Department is fully prepared to conduct elections to the 60-member state legislature scheduled on February 27th. Chief Electoral Officer F.R. Kharkongor on Monday informed the department has sufficient manpower with more than 19,500 officials on board. According to Kharkongor, preparations are on in full swing in all 12 districts, with training and randomizations set to commence this week. Meanwhile, the CEO informed that 40 companies of the Central Paramilitary Forces have arrived in the state out of the 120 companies so far.
The date of notification, after which the process of filing nominations will start. The last date of filing nominations on the 7th, and the last date of withdrawal is on the 8th.
Meghalaya Chief Minister Conrad Sangma has said a power-packed gathering after the bike rally extended support to the NPP candidates. The candidates representing the NPP are Subir Marak, Sanjay A. Sangma, Ian Botham K. Sangma and Steve Marak. Early on, the bike rally with over 1,500 NPP supporters from 3 constituencies in South Garo Hills was flagged off from Ampati to Garudubi, Sangma tweeted. A thrilling experience with our youth, Sangma wrote. Arunachal Pradesh Chief Minister Pema Khandu said his government has built a comprehensive plan to develop at least one model village in each assembly constituency under the Chief Minister Adarsh Gram Yojana. Inaugurating the Rai Balo model village in Kra Dadi district, Khandu tweeted that such villages will spur growth in rural areas of our state. The Chief Minister said every enabling intervention such as rural link road in and around Pitapul village, improved water supply, CC pavement, satellite communication and tracking facility leaves a positive impact in people's lives. Keeping up with the Governance at Doorstep initiative, Sikkim Chief Minister Prem Singh Tamang said he joined the public meeting with the people of Zongo constituency. Prior to the meeting that commenced at Namprikdang, checks were handed over to individuals for medical and various other purposes. Chief Minister Zoramthanga, along with MNF Legislature Party, has declared their candidate for Assembly Deputy Speaker. The meeting on Monday declared Longklai East MLA H. Biagzua as their candidate for the upcoming election. At this MNF Legislature Party meeting, various initiatives were taken by the MNF government were reviewed. They also previewed the upcoming Mizoram Assembly budget session to be held on February 7th. Election of the Assembly Deputy Speaker will be held in this budget session. Longklai East MLA H. Biagzua on Monday filed his nomination to Mizoram Legislative Assembly Commissioner and Secretary Lalmaria Zote for elections to be held on February 8th. The MNF Legislature Party meeting said they will oppose the Uniform Civil Code. Rajya Sabha MP K. Vanlal Vena spoke on the importance of allowing refugees fleeing Bangladesh to enter Mizoram. He was speaking at a meeting held yesterday in the presence of Defence Minister Rajnath Singh, where preview of the upcoming Parliament budget session slated for today was discussed at the Parliament Library Committee room. Vanlal Vena said many who had fled from Myanmar seeking refuge were taken care of. He added that many refugees fleeing Bangladesh were not allowed entry by the Border Security Force. Several had returned towards Bangladesh, he informed, stating that armed sub-clans of the Mizos have traded fire with the Bangladesh army. The MP said it is necessary to allow entry of civilians into Mizoram for their safety. An offering of homage to ancestors, Medam Mephi is a traditional annual festival of the Thai Ahoms celebrated all over Assam today. A special report from Dibrugarh.
Medam Mephi Festival is the traditional annual festival of Thai Ahoms, which is celebrated all over Assam on January 31st of every year. This is an important festival celebrated specially by the Ahoms since the 12th century. Medam Mephi celebration is basically the worship of the ancestors among the Ahoms, and literally in Medam Mephi meaning, Me means offerings, Dam means the ancestors, and Fi means God.
अहम राज में हम लोग का एक रीति नीति होता है, वही है मेदाम में भी। मेदाम में भी हम लोग पूर्व पुरुष को हम लोग बिलीव करते हैं और उसको हम लोग वर्शिप करते हैं।
We are here at Medam Mephi Festival, which is celebrated every year in Assam on 31st January to preserve the rich cultural heritage of Ahoms in Assam. With camera person Pranab Chetia, Subina Roy, DD News.
The melodious recitation of culture, identity and roots through the carved jackfruit wood and a few strings put together has now reverberated all throughout the country for the state's own Rising Bor Kurkalang, who has been awarded the Padma Shri. Here is a report.
Awards is one of the highest civilian awards of the country, given in recognition for distinguished and exceptional achievements or service in all fields of activities and disciplines. This year, tribal Duitara instrument maker and musician from East Khasi Hills, Meghalaya, Rising Bor Kurkalang, has been awarded the Padma Shri in the art folk music category. A third-generation instrument maker, Kurkalang has been making the Duitara for the past 33 years. Inspired by his grandfather and his teachers in school, Kurkalang's journey started very early. A gifted craftsman, he has made a name for himself by making the best string instruments using the wood of the jackfruit tree. In school, I had taken SUPW as one of the subjects when I was in class 7. I started making Duitara and I submitted the same to my teachers, who also encouraged me. Although he makes other folk instruments like the maringnut, kasing and the saitar, his specialization is the Duitara. This, he says, is due to the high demand and also his love for the instrument. It takes him 3 days to make one Duitara.
And to end the news, the main points once again. Describing the government as fearless and decisive, President Draupadi Murmu addresses joint sitting of both houses. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman presents Economic Survey 2022-23 in both houses of Parliament. Filing of nominations for Nagaland and Meghalaya Assembly polls begins today. Broad plan to develop at least one model village in each assembly constituency, says Arunachal Pradesh Chief Minister Pema Khandu. And keeping up with governance at a doorstep initiative, Sikkim Chief Minister joins a public meeting in Zongu constituency. And that brings us to the end of this evening's bulletin. Thank you for tuning in. Namaskar.